Yo, what is up, guys? It is the man in the can, the Super Piggy Man, here today with another daily dose of Kenshi. And today we're going to be talking about what to do in the first 30 minutes of a new game. So, there's a lot of people that don't usually, a lot of new players that usually do not know what to do. And they generally do not know what to start off at, as in terms of what to do in the game when they're a new player, or sometimes you just don't know how to actually build up your character, because I know it took me a couple saves to actually get a built up character and built up more other characters. So I'm gonna kind of run you down a list of what I do. So for the first thing that I actually do once I spawn in, depending on where you are and what type of nodes are around you, you should either mine copper or iron depending on what's closer to the town, because you have to remember you're pretty much like a dead man walking around because you aren't a fighter yet, you don't have good stats or anything. So you want to mine copper, and you want to keep getting a lot of copper or iron into your over encumbered, and what I mean by this is carry as much as you can until you pretty much are just at walking speed and you just walk around everywhere. And now trust me, this is really good, because if you really think about it, all you're gonna have on you is copper. That's literally all you're gonna have, or iron. And you're pretty much, if you run into, let's say, starving bandits, or for an example, you're gonna fight over encumbered, which actually boosts your stats a lot more than when you're actually not fighting encumbered. And also the over encumbrance, it does add on strength to what you're gonna do. So now you're gonna want to make your way to a bar. This is the second thing you're going to do in your first 30 minutes. You're going to make your way to a bar, and you're going to sell the copper or iron, and you pretty much do that to, pretty much just get cash. You just want to get some cash. So the third thing you do is you buy food from where else? The bar. So you get the food, and you just repeat step 1 until you can afford a house in the town. Now, why don't suggest building bases outside of towns, and I learned this the hard way, it is really just difficult to become self-sufficient. It's the hardest thing in the world, and it takes a lot of micromanaging. But I mean, if you're up for the task, then go ahead and do it. But if you're actually trying to, not have a challenge, then follow these steps, because trust me, building a house or buying a house in the town is probably one of the best things that you can do. Now, after you buy the house in the town, you're going to want to kind of get more money again. And then you're going to want to buy some building materials so you can build a research bench. Now, the research bench is really essential, because you're going to need the research bench to research new techs and research training dummies, which are pretty much what you're going to be using. And you're going to want to just, maybe get a sleeping bag too while you're at it, because I think you actually have to research sleeping bags. I'm not sure 100% on that, but sleeping bags are actually pretty good to have in your house, because when you get beat up, you're going to rest in them. But anyways, just make sure you get building materials and a research bench. So after you do that, you're going to need to, of course, buy research books. Now, I would suggest buying about 2 or 3 ancient science books each time you buy research books, because then you just start building up on your ancient science books, and you might not need them at first, but then you're going to start needing them for even higher and higher grade stuff. So it's just really good to do that. And so the next thing you're going to want to do is pretty much research for a training dummy. And you're going to build that training dummy, and you're going to train your stats. So training your stats is also a really good thing to do. But what I mean by training your stats is using the training dummy to pretty much just flesh out your attack and defense. Because I think there is defensive training dummies. I'm not sure on that one, but those are really good to use. So after you do that for about maybe 10 minutes or so, 15, that's where you're going to spend most of your time. You will go out and fight bandits. Now, don't get discouraged if you get beaten up really badly, because that's the entire point. You're supposed to lose as many fights as you can so you can build up your stats and keep building them, because that's what you need to do. Now, why I didn't say, recruit another person or so, is because I firmly do not think you should probably recruit other people until your main guy is at a point where he can be able to wipe out entire bandit squads, while, your other 3 or 4 people that you're going to recruit just get completely annihilated. Because honestly, I think it's a good idea to do it like that, unless you actually do want the entire challenge experience where you have 4 or 5 other people and they're all getting knocked out too. But it's all how you want to do it. But this is just pretty much my own guide to what to do in the first 30 minutes of a new game. Also, don't not fight skim spiders or anything in the wild, because trust me, you will live to regret it. And if you're an experienced player watching this, you know what I mean. Like, do not fight a big thing. Do not fight skim spiders. Do not fight bone dogs. Actually, bone dogs are kind of in the middle, because sometimes you'll be able to kill them, sometimes not. But it's not guaranteed, like, type of thing to do, because sometimes they will eat you alive and sometimes they won't. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. But anyways, hopefully you guys do enjoy. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, and peace.